Okay, today we're going to talk about the discriminant. Now, I used this word yesterday in class, at least I think I did. What it is a part of the quadratic formula that can tell us what kind of answers we're going to end up with once we do our entire formula. Alright, so it's kind of a little shortcut to if you had a multiple choice test. If you know what the discriminant is, you know what the answer should look like, and so then you don't really have to work out the entire problem. Okay? And it's just helpful to know what kind of solutions you should expect in case you end up doing something wrong. So, the discriminant is part of the quadratic formula. Like I said, we use it to determine what types of solutions we're going to have and how many solutions. So remember that a parabola can cross the x-axis twice. It can cross it here, oops, or it could also sit on the axis, which means it only hits once, or it can float in the air, meaning it doesn't cross it at all. So those are the different types of solutions you can have, and that's what the discriminant tells us. Okay, so the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. It's the part that we put into the calculator yesterday. Okay, so the next slide is something you need to write down, so write this down. Okay, the discriminant tells us what kind of solutions we have. It'll tell us if they're imaginary, if there's two real rational roots, which means it could be a fraction answer or it could be a whole number answer. We can have two real irrational roots, meaning the square root doesn't go away. So like if we have the square root of 3, that's an irrational number. Alright, a rational number is like 1/2. It's a nice pretty fraction. Alright, or we could have one real root. And so what the discriminant does, once you find out what the value is, you can tell based on that value what kind of answer you're going to end up with. Alright, so tomorrow in class we're going to actually investigate if we come up with a certain type of number for the discriminant, what it means. So you need to write this part down so that when you get an answer you can fill in the investigation and know what's going on. Okay, so if you need to pause the video, pause it, but write this down. Okay, let's practice actually finding the discriminant using an example. Okay, so we did this in class yesterday, we typed this in our calculator. So remember that this is A, B, and C. So our discriminant, let's put this, is b squared minus 4ac. It's not the square root, it's just this part of it. Okay, so we're going to put negative 8 squared minus 4 times 1 times 13. Okay, so ideally you'd put that in your calculator, but you can't see my calculator, so I know that 8 squared is 64 minus 4 times 13 is 4 times 3 is 12, so 52, right? Yeah. So then you would just subtract the 2. So 64 minus 52 is 12. Okay, so our discriminant would equal 12. And then tomorrow what we're going to learn is, okay, well what does that mean? What does it mean to have a 12 for a discriminant? What kind of answers should we expect? Alright, so really this is just a more vocabulary video, but like I said, you need to make sure you wrote down the different types of solutions you could come up with. Okay, so short, sweet video, back to the grind of lovely Algebra 2. Make sure you took good notes, make sure you filled in your summary form so that you get credit for watching the video. Alright, we'll talk more about this in class tomorrow. Have a good afternoon.